Hey there, good morning. I'm John. Today is Friday, July 7th, 2023. Welcome to another entry in my daily vlog. If you've watched one before, you know when I got laid off, instead of getting a real job, I decided to try to turn my hobby into a full-time gig, and that hobby is content creation, internet, YouTube, all the Googles, all that fun stuff. It's Friday, which is an accomplishment in and of itself. So let's talk just a little bit about yesterday and today and what the weekend holds, and let you get out of here because I've been kind of long-winded the last couple of days. Yesterday was exactly as planned. New podcast went out yesterday, and wow, my brain is right. It definitely is Friday. Remember, I worked over the weekend. I can feel that. I can feel that I'm still there. New podcast got out yesterday, and then I got underway working on the new tier. I would say, shooting and editing is what I began, right? So all the research work was done. Nuts and bolts of the new tier video. My target is to get that out end of today or early tomorrow. We'll talk about that in a second. And it just filled up my day. I spent all day doing that. A little bit of story about that I'll tell you at the end, just briefly. It's kind of funny. So let's talk stats here in the middle of that, and that is, yes, we rolled over another 1,000 yesterday. 32,000 and change, left over a little bit this morning. So in less than a week, during that big spike, we were able to ramp another 1,000 in under 7 days. Pretty cool. So let's talk about today. I look forward to today. It's editing day, like all day. Remember I told you last week or so, I talked about what I found out, like scheduling myself during the day, and I found out that I can't stand here and get my thoughts together and perform on camera. I'm not performing here, this is just me talking, to shoot, but I can't edit in the mornings and then shoot in the afternoons. So yesterday afternoon I did the shoot, started editing in the evening, and today is going to be all editing. A fun day. Like, I love the day is laid out and I know exactly what I'm doing. And that's what's happening today. My goal, my whole day's goal, is to get that video produced and ready to publish. And I'm about 25% of the way through the edit, actually, so that's pretty cool. I'm happy about that. With that in mind, let me tell you a little bit about, so this tier that I'm creating that will be out later has 21 different titles in it, and you can imagine, talking about those and flubs and reshoots and whatever. So I stood here, my feet were sore. I stood here for about an hour, for about a 45-minute shoot, recording like all of my stuff. Like, now let's move along to Frogger. Frogger is a classic game from blah blah blah, right? And you do all that stuff, and sometimes you flub and go classic game from, a very classic game, whatever. All the retakes and the reshoots and the reflubs, all that. So for a video that ends up being, 20-25 minutes, I shot for over an hour. Finally got it done, got everything finished, plugged in my camera to my computer, and the 2 files I recorded for an hour on, 0 bytes. No data. I can move the files over, it was nothing, a thumbnail, and that was it. Like, holy crap. So now, I'm thinking to myself, well, okay, so, am I gonna have to reshoot all this? I don't have the energy to do that today. I don't know if I can start over right now. Did I just lose a day? So I started downloading software to try to salvage files and whatever. Ultimately pulled the SD card out of the camera, plugged it into an adapter to try to run some stuff on it. Poof! Plugging it in straight to the computer. The files were there, like 6 gigs apiece. Turns out, unbeknownst to me, look, I just upgraded the SD card in my camera to this SDXC or something, this super highfalutin card. And it allows my camera to record larger chunks because of how the card is set up. However, turns out you can't transfer files over 4 gigs through USB from this camera. They just show up as 0 bytes. So now I know, if I have a long shoot, I've got to actually pull the card out to get the data from the camera. I can't just, sync it up and connect it. But it was like this in a sequence. It was like the gratification that I got the shoot done and I could start editing, and then your heart sinks because you're like, oh no, all that work. Oh, I can't. Can I repeat that? What? I'm just so. And then they're there, and you're like, oh, thank goodness. It was this roller coaster of emotions that I went on, all caused by technology. So. In addition to, I'll show you some of this next week when I get it done. In addition to finishing up the tier video today, I also have been doing I mentioned I did some work with the camera and I edited a prompter and stuff. I think maybe next week sometime when I get it all hammered out, I have an extra part coming in. When I get it all done, I'll show you what I've done to upgrade my my shooting situation here with a little prompter and a little return monitor and stuff like that. So just to make what I do more productive and easier to do, and Anyway, I'll show you. I know we did a tour of the studio before, and maybe I'll just do like a little overview of what I've done to upgrade this whole rig, this whole camera thing here. So let me know if you're interested in that, and if not, I won't bother showing you. Hey, it's Friday. I hope you have a great weekend. I am going over to Tallahassee, to InfinityCon Tallahassee. It's a 2-day event, and I think I'm just going to go there part of each day. I mean, I lived in Tallahassee for about 15, 20 years, and so I have a lot of friends over there. I'll probably stop and see some friends as well, and visit the convention. And I think George and I are going to put on a little mini panel at this convention too. So it's actually in preparation for a panel we're going to do later in the month at the SFGE show in Atlanta. So that's it. I'm going to get busy. It's editing day for me, and I'm looking forward to it. Well rested. I want to thank you for stopping to check out today's vlog, if that's what you did. If you're here every day, I love you for that. Thank you so much for being part of my system and being here on the bus with me. I love it. I love it. Love it. Thank you. Have a great Friday and a wonderful weekend. Do something good for yourself if you can. And I'll talk to you on Monday. Bye-bye.